I had a fellow TACP, really good friend of mine, reach out to me, and I knew he was in a bad place a couple years ago, and I had been just doing my thing, making flags, making connections, and one of the flags went to an organization that I was able to refer him to, and he told me, you know, like, hey man, no joke, like, if you hadn't reached out to me to provide me with that resource, I would have probably ended my life. Like, 3 kids, wife, it's just things you just don't see, and connections you don't know that you're gonna lead to, and it's all from literally making flags. Like, that flag led me to this organization. This organization does amazing things for veterans, and in turn I'm able to say, hey, do you guys have a trip that I could send somebody on that really just needs some space, some time? And they're like, yeah, we got you. And literally sent this dude on a trip, and now he's doing amazing things. I'm Josh Melching, a retired Air Force Master Sergeant, retired out of Air Force Special Warfare. Did 10 years, 9.5 years as a maintainer, last little over 10 years as a TACP. Spent some time all over the world before transitioning, did Alaska, Utah, Korea, and Germany, and then crossed over to the TACP Special Warfare world. Did some time in Florida, Kentucky, back to Korea, and then here in San Antonio. 5 total deployments. I've done Iraq a couple times. I did Afghanistan a couple times. Did Kuwait and Syria with a bunch of different units. Spent a lot of time with the 101st out of Fort Campbell. And that's kind of where I got a lot of my combat time, a lot of my experience, having the most fun, I would say, is that time. So kind of picked up most of my combat time in that realm, I guess, in the 101st. So my flags were kind of a spur of the moment thing. I'd seen other people making flags. When I transitioned out of the military, I did a bunch of corporate type stuff, and I was doing woodworking on the side. Transitioned out of the corporate world permanently for a little bit and went to just doing woodworking. But the flags, I really just did as a side project, and then they kind of took on a life of their own. Once people saw them, they wanted me to keep making them. They wanted me to make them better. They wanted to buy them, and I did not want to sell them. So it took somebody prying the first one out of my hands for way too much money before I would make another one. And that's kind of what drove me to start doing it more, is that people wouldn't leave me alone, and they convinced me to do it. So my flags themselves are kind of secondary to what they kind of represent. So the flags are really an into another world. To me, they're a world in a way into the nonprofit space. The nonprofit space is a way to help other veterans. From the flags themselves, I've literally had people say I've saved their life because of the outreach that I've been able to provide. So I in turn link into a nonprofit with the flags. I either give them one, or they buy one, or I donate it, and then I share the resources, and in turn the veteran community benefits from that. And I've had more than people that I can count on one hand reach out to me and say I've either provided a resource to save their life, or I saved their life myself, or they were about to make a really bad decision and I pulled them out of it from making flags. The work for me is a grind. It is actual manual labor, but the benefit of it is what keeps me doing it. Like I said, I'm at almost 275 right now. My goal is to be at 1,000 of them by the end of the year. But the return is what I'm able to do for other people. The connections I can make, the networks I can create just from bringing people together, presenting them a flag, showing appreciation, showing that the business that they run deeply benefits veterans. It creates a cycle of giving that people are willing to be in when they see what it does. So, and that's where I get to come in and kind of just be in the middle, like, hey, we're all in this together, and show them. So right off the bat, there's actually between 45 and 60,000 veteran nonprofits. There's an endless amount of resources, and no one's connected the dots between the resources for veterans and the veterans themselves. So these flags and this mission of mine are connecting the resources. So people see the flags, they see what I'm doing, I'm giving them the organizations, I'm showing them the organizations, showing what the organizations can do, what they do for veterans, and how we can connect them all. And that's how you save lives. I mean, that's literally saving people's lives by providing them, as simple as putting an event on a calendar for a veteran, whether it's a get together with another group of veterans, but having something on the calendar that's 2 months from now, they're going to look at that for the next 2 months and they're going to look forward to that event. And that could be 2 months, it could be a year. But just having that can keep someone in the fight. Everybody goes through dark times. This last year was the hardest year of my life. I lost my mom, my best friend, my grandma, my aunt, my uncle. One of the guys I deployed with took his own life, all within 12 months. And I don't project that out to the world, but a lot of what you see on social media is just rainbows and sunshine, and that's just not how life works. But you have to reach out, you have to be proactive. No one's coming to find you and pull you out of that dark place. You have to ask for help, and the resources are there. What I'm trying to do is take the resources and put them so far in your face that you have no choice but to utilize them. And they're there. We spend $400 to $500 billion a year in the US on nonprofits, and they're there. All we have to do is get them to people and make them use them. So I don't care if I have to make people use them, I will do it. So.